Good afternoon, students. As we started note making yesterday, and today we are going to complete it in detail. Note making is a tool, it is a tool which is used to compress the information, or you may say long passages, long details are written in points into brief and organized way. In short, but with complete sense. As it was part of your 11th class syllabus also, there are some important details, objectives of note making. You may prepare for examination, plan essays, speech. Whenever you see people, leaders speaking or delivering long speeches, they don't have long scripts. They have their note making with them on some small slips, and with the help of this, they deliver. So, note is a brief record of ideas in points. Ideas in point. This is very important to be kept in mind. Ideas are written in points. You'll be getting a passage and you will get ideas in sentences and paras, but here you have to convert that ideas into points, and this is to be read. What is to be done when a passage is given to you? Scanning, you go through the passage and just see important information. Don't read, just see. Skimming, and next is reading for general idea. A quick reading, speedily, to get some ideas that what this passage is about. And next thing is, your points are always, notes are always brief and written in third person. Keep in mind, I and you is never to be used, only third person, and long explanations are excluded, only important relevant details, because we are to compress, we are to write more in less words. Full sentences are not to be used, points are to be used. In logical sequence, mean it should be in systematic way. We need to write a title of that passage. It has 1 mark. And now the question come, how to condense, mean how to shorten. Short words for long words. This is your abbreviation part. As there is a long word, hippopotamus, and for that abbreviation it's become hippo dot. Number for figures and figures for numbers. In that way you may make your abbreviations. Which one is shorter? It doesn't matter, number or figure. Numbers can be used at the place of figure, and figure can be used at the place of number. And when you have a sentence, how to make points? You have to exclude, remove auxiliaries, connectives, articles, articles in the connectives, because, and these type of linkers. Auxiliaries is, am, or, are, was, were, these type are to be exempted. For example, eating apple useful. In sentence, this is point, and for this sentence was, eating apple is very useful. Another point, sun setting in west. This is point. But what could be sentence at the place of this point? The sun is setting in the west. So we have removed the articles from here, is from here, auxiliaries, helping verb. In that way we have made points. In that way we can make abbreviation. Examination, exam dot, government, govt. By taking the first few letters and the last letter, there is not a particular rule to make abbreviation. Sometimes you may take some letters and it should suit you, and that's okay. Sometimes you may take words, letters from the word beginning, one letter from middle and one from ending as standard. std, dot is must in then. And sometimes you may take as answers, we write ans, or by dropping vowels in the word ear. Ear means sometimes you use short forms in chatting, that can be used here to make abbreviations. Now this is what formatting. I had less place, less space. So in a sequence, first you do one thing, I'm telling you process. Just go through the passage. Suppose there are four paras in a passage. Generally there are 4 5 paras. Means para change mean idea change. If there are 4 paras, we can make 4 headings from one from each para. So easily you can search 4 headings. If there are 5 paras, you can search 5 headings, and every heading must have minimum 4 points. And abbreviations can be used in headings also, in points also. It is your freedom. So out of 5 paras, you make 5 headings first. You may write these in rough, and when you have discovered 5 headings, then simply title must be very clear to you. And there may be 5 6 7 8 relevant titles. So don't be so specific in case of title, it should be relevant. So in the beginning you have to write a title, then from para 1 heading 1 and 4 points. Keep in mind, if we are using 5 headings, mean 20 points. As I told, that one heading must have 4 points. So please, at least 6 to 7 or 6 to 8 abbreviations are to be used in total. So you may divide these 8 into your headings. For example, one heading has 4 points, so somewhere you may use one, somewhere you may use two. So if there are 4 headings, simply you may use 6 or 8. In one you may use one, and somewhere you may use two. And keep in mind that as main point is heading, this is to be underlined. Title is also to be underlined, and your points are not to be underlined. So if you have written first heading 1 in Roman as counting 1, so point should be A B C D in that way. So it should not be as same 1 2 3 4 5 6. It should be A B C D. So in that way, first, second, third, fourth points you may use. And now I come to summary. In summary, you have to you may use 1/3 of the para, but if you it would be better if you use all important informations. Don't use examples here. Don't use unnecessarily sentence or data. Important things are to be used, and it should be of 120 words. So in that way, summary And please don't do that. Generally students do what, they get sentences. They get sentences from para as it is. Make your own sentences, because in reading section, grammatical mistakes are exempted. So no mark is deducted only for grammatical mistakes. So be free, be relaxed, make your own language. Don't use examples, instances. Just go brief, and don't miss any important idea, and cover 120 words. And this is what I have already told you. And these guidelines you may go through, I have told in details. And this is your marking scheme. So you're not making, actually last year it was, there were some changes, but now you will get 4 marks for not making, and 4 marks for summary, total 8 marks. So you may consider what I'm telling instead of what is written here. So please keep in mind, 1 mark for title, and you have 3 marks for not making. Out of these three, two for not making and one for abbreviation. Abbreviations are to be written in box, right? And all the abbreviations to be underlined and should be given numbers, 1 2 3 4, how many you have used. So this is your not making. And my dear students, you have passages in your practice papers, or there are so many on internet, you may search. Unsolved material is there, and kindly solve at least 5 passages, so it will come in your routine, habit, and understanding. Thank you.